Well, hello vinyl community. How you all doing? It's Matt, and I'm back to do a little video for you. And today's video is going to be a little different. Going to slow the pace down a little bit, take a step back, so to speak, dial it down a notch, whatever you want to call it. I've been kind of busy my last couple of videos doing my road trip stuff. I love that stuff. I love going to record stores or record shows or whatever and showing you what's there, and you all seem to enjoy it. And I intend to do more of that in 2018. Especially once the weather breaks. We've got a few more places I have in mind I'd like to take you to visit and see what we can find. So that will be fun. But what I'm going to do in today's video is kind of slow things down a little bit and kind of reflect back on my first year in the music community slash vinyl community slash Beatles community. Okay, we cover them all there and cover all the bases. It was 1 year ago, January of 2017, that I joined the vinyl community. So to me, that's a big deal. 1 year is going by so quick. I'm so happy to be part of the vinyl community. It all started when I don't know what it was. On a lark, I was looking for Beatles videos on YouTube one day, and I came across Joe's, Mean Mr. Mayo's videos, and I fell in love with them. I mean, he had been on for several years by then, and I was going back and watching all his videos and checking them out and just getting a laugh out of them and saying, wow, this guy really... he's a fan like me. He's about my age, and he's into it, and he's having fun and joking, and I just got such a kick out of it. And at the time, I didn't have a lot of real Beatle fans that were in my personal life, so I kind of felt like there was a hole missing, having that community, having that sense of community and family with people that love the Beatles and love music as much as I did. And so it was so nice when I came across Joe's videos and I started to get into them. This goes back obviously well over a year ago. And then I bumped into Eddie's from the King's Court, Ed from the King's Court, his Elvis videos. I'm a big Elvis fan. I said, wow, this guy knows his Elvis. He seems like a great guy. And what a coincidence that him and Joe don't live too far from one another. So I got into Ed's videos. Not too long after Ed's, I got into Tim Allen. I'm sure you're all familiar with Tim Allen's videos. He was another guy that was into not only the Beatles, but Elvis and Cheap Trick and the Kinks and Power Pop and so many other things I loved. And it went from there. I could go on and name more names, and there was tons of people after that. I got into their videos and really started to enjoy their videos. And I said, wow, what a nice sense of community here at the time in the vinyl community. I said, what a nice community. You know, people that just get along, that are friendly, like family. They just treat you well, and they enjoy your comments, and they get back to you and say, have a nice, kind word to say to you. I said, this is great. And I really got into it. And it kind of reignited my spark for music again and getting back in it. Not that I ever let it totally go, but it kind of reignited that spark into collecting again, and especially with the Beatles and stuff. And I said, wow, this is great. Got to get back into it. And learning so much from these people, not only the big three, so to speak, but the other people I've met here in the community have been so knowledgeable and turn you on to new things that you never would have heard of. It's great. So anyway, I appreciate that. And it wasn't long after that, which was January of 2017, I did my first video, which if you go way back, you can still see it. It was my tribute to the Meet the Beatles album, which was my first album I ever received as a young boy from my parents. And I talked quite a bit about that in that first video and what it meant to me to receive that album as a young boy from mom and dad, and how it led me to where I am today, all these 50 plus years later, pushing 60, haha. Anyway, okay, so today's video, again, is going to be something a little different and a little, my little way, personal way of celebrating my 1 year in the vinyl community, the music community, and the Beatles community. And I thought what I would do, as you can see from the title and the description of this, is I'm going to do my top 10 finds, Beatles finds, for 2017. My 10 favorite Beatles items or pieces of music that were my personal favorites. Albeit all the different things I got this year, not only from the Beatles and solo and other artists, and I've showed tons of stuff to you this year that I was able to obtain. But I thought I'd focus on my favorite artists of all time, the Beatles. As you know, I'm a Beatle maniac, like many of you. And so these are my top 10 Beatles finds or Beatles-related finds for 2017. So here we go. Number 10. Finally, after a long time, and backwards here, I was able to obtain Paul's new album from 2013 on vinyl. That's right, I never had it on vinyl until last year when I finally obtained it. I had the CD obviously from day one, and I really enjoy this album. If you go back to my Paul top 25 video, this ranks in the top 10 somewhere. It's up there, I believe, way up there, because I love this album. I think it's a great album. Paul knocked it out of the park with this album, and what can you say about it? Fantastic. Thank you, Paul, and looking forward to Paul's new release, hopefully sometime this year in 2018 is the rumor. And I hope if it's anything like this, or at least the quality of this, Paul will have another winner. Number 10. Number 9, I was so happy to get this in 2017. George's Brainwashed on vinyl. Have the CD, got it the day it came out, loved it. What a fitting tribute and final testament to George and his music, because this is a great album. I love it. I know it's hit or miss with some people, but personally, I just think Brainwashed is fabulous. I can't say enough about it. You know, it's no Cloud 9 in the sense that Cloud 9 is probably my favorite George album of all time, but this is probably in the top 3 or 4. Okay, definitely in the top 3 or 4. Brainwashed, number 9. Top Beatles related find of 2017. Number 8. Ringo's Time Takes Time. Came out in 1992 on CD, and it immediately became one of my favorite pieces of Ringo's music of all time. I love this album. It's definitely in my top probably 2, somewhere in 1 or 2. It probably goes back and forth. My top 2 Ringo releases of all time. Love this album. Can't say enough about it. Friday Music released it not too long ago, and I grabbed it. Ringo's Time Takes Time on vinyl. Number 8. Okay, number 7. This is a fairly recent one. The Beatles Rock and Roll Music from 1976 in mint condition. Yes, I have this. I got it way back in summer of 76. But let's face it, you know, I did my best to always take care of my albums. But it got a little beat up over the years. The silver foil type covering, you know, gets a little wear and tear over the years from, you know, back then we didn't cover them with plastic like we do now, so they got a little worn and stuff, and ring wear is pretty bad and whatnot. Here's the back with the label. I put the records outside the packaging. But yeah, when I saw this for short money, in mint condition, it just brings back a lot of memories for me as a young teenager. When this came out, I was so thrilled that Got to Get You Into My Life made top 10 on the top 40 charts in 76, and just, you know, such validation of what a great band the Beatles were and how they rocked is this album right here. I know a lot of people don't like the cover of it. It's okay. I love the imaging and the picture. I just wish some of this other stuff with the fingers and the thumbs and that 50s motif, you know, with the Coca-Cola and Marilyn Monroe inside with the, you know, it's soda shop and all that stuff. That's really not the Beatles, but I do love that image of the Beatles right there. So, number 7, rock and roll music. Number 6 came out fairly recently. Number 6 is the Beatles Christmas box set. Just came out not too long ago, a little over a month ago. I love this thing. I think it's fabulous. On colored vinyl. Just so happy that this was released. And finally we have a legitimate version of it. I know there's some people gripe a little bit about why not a CD and, you know, why not other means to other avenues to get it or other formats, but I'm just so happy to have it. I just think it's a beautiful little gift for someone who's a Beatle fan in your life. And the Beatles Christmas Messages official vinyl release, can't beat it. Number 6. Okay, number 5, 2017, my fifth favorite Beatles related release, or it wasn't release, I mean grab, find. I got this at the record show. Remember I went to the record show? If you go back, check my record show video. I was able to obtain the, what do you want to call it, fan club only release, the unauthorized release of the Yesterday and Today album on vinyl with a faux capital rainbow swirl label. But this fan club only release, unauthorized release, is so well done, folks. You'd swear it was an official capital release. It's that well done. And just to have it, like I told you in my video when I got this, I'll probably never have a real one myself. They're just so darn expensive. But when I saw this at the record show, and it was not that expensive, I grabbed it, and I have to tell you, I'm just so happy I have it. So this definitely made my list this year. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, number 5, Yesterday and Today. Yeah, I should have written it down, huh? You know, I didn't. So now I'm going to pay the price when I have to keep counting them all up. Okay, I have a tie for number 4. It's a 3-way tie because I just couldn't pick one from the other. I obtained a few of these this year, and so I just took my 3 favorites, and they are the tie. They are a tie for number 4. And they are, I finally broke down and started getting some of the Paul McCartney Super Deluxe box sets. Okay. This one is Flowers in the Dirt, which I keep in plastic. Okay. Tie for number 4. The next one is, which is a beautiful package, Ram. Super, look how thick that thing is, like a book. Ram Super Deluxe box set, Paul McCartney. And again, I showed you in detail. If you go back to through my videos, you'll find these reviewed, and I show every little piece and nuance of them in my video, so you can go back and check it out. I really get into these box sets and delve into them and show you everything. And the final tie for number 4 is the massive, heavy, Super Deluxe box set for Wings. God, let me fix this thing. Yeah, there we go. Gee, heavy. Wings Over America. There you go. Super Deluxe. It is open. I just kept the shrink on it. Wings Over America. Look at the size of this thing. This is unbelievable. This weighs a ton. Okay. So again, the third one, I just couldn't decide, folks, between the 3 of these. Between Ram, Flowers in the Dirt, and this one, Wings Over America. I grabbed them this year, last year, 2017, and they all tied for number 4 for me. Number 4. Number 3, the top 3. Matt's favorite grabs for 2017 Beatles related. Finally, after many, many years, I got off my butt and I searched for it and finally got myself an original, on the Rainbow Swirl label, copy, mono copy of Rubber Soul, the US Rubber Soul, which is one of my favorite Beatle albums of all time. I'm sorry, I grew up on the American Rubber Soul album. I love the track listing on the American Rubber Soul album. I just love the songs that they added to it, and the songs they took off don't bother me one bit. This album just flows so well. Capitol, I feel, did a great bang-up job on this when they took those few songs off the British version and tagged on the 2 other songs, It's Only Love and I've Just Seen a Face on this one. I'm sorry, I grew up on this, folks, and this is just a fabulous, fabulous Beatles album. I highly recommend the US version of Rubber Soul to anybody listening and watching. It's great. And I never had the mono version. I have a ton of stereo versions, never had mono. Finally got it in 2017. Number 3. My number 2 Beatles related grab of 2017 is a stereo version of Beatles 65 in the shrink wrap on the Rainbow Swirl label, an old original pressing from the 60s. Beatles 65 in the shrink. You got it in the shrink wrap there, if you can see it. I showed this to you not too long ago in one of my videos. I was stunned that I was able to obtain this, folks. Still has a store tag on it. It was like $2.80 or something when it first came out. But this is my number 2 favorite Beatles grab for 2017. Beatles 65, stereo in the shrink. Rainbow swirl label. Boy, I want to frame this thing. I'm just so happy to have it. There you go. And finally, number 1. What would be my number 1 grab, or the number 1 Beatles related item I obtained in 2017? I mean, the choice was tough. There's so many cool things I just showed you. There's some things that didn't make the list that I thought about. But I have to go with this, folks. I have to go with this. The brand new Giles Martin remix of the 50th anniversary Super Deluxe edition of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band with the lenticular 3D cover. What can I say about this, folks? I did a whole video about it. I know many of you out there did videos about this, so and those of you that are just viewers, I'm sure you've seen a ton of videos about this when it came out last year. But this is just fabulous with the Blu-ray DVD, 4 audio CDs. I just the wealth of material here and the way they put this package together is just stunning. Stunning to the point that if they don't do this for every Beatles release at some point, I'm going to be totally bummed out and disappointed in Apple, Capital, or whatever, Apple, whatever you want to call them. I mean, they've got to. They have to do it. There's no way around it. This is the gold standard. This is it. This is the way to hear Sgt. Pepper now. The new Giles Martin remix. I can't listen to, I mean, I can listen to the other albums and stuff I have of it and enjoy them, but I'm sorry, I've been spoiled by this, folks. It's so good. It's so fantastic. And these Super Deluxe packages are put together so well and so beautiful. Again, I'm not going to take it all apart. You can go back to other videos to see that. But, boy, Apple's got to do it. They've got to do it for the White Album this year. They've got to do it for Abbey Road in 2019. They've got to do a full Let It Be with DVD, Blu-ray of the film and outtakes for 2020. And then after that, after they do the later maybe Beatles albums, then go back to the early stuff and maybe chip away at those. But these later Beatle albums from Sgt. Pepper onward, they have to do it. This is too good. It's too well put together. It was too well done. It's spoiling everybody now. We've got to have it. Okay, so there's my rant for the promotion of future Super Deluxe releases. But for me, this had to be my number 1 for 2017, folks. My number 1 Beatles-related grab for 2017. The new Super Deluxe Sgt. Pepper. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to put that over there and just say thank you all very much for watching. I try to keep this video reasonable length today, since I think my last one, the big giant excursion to Newbury Comics, was like 47 minutes. You need a hot dog and a Coke or a beer for that one. It was so long. But anyway, this one's a little more reasonable, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed looking back with me on my 1-year anniversary in the vinyl music Beatles communities, and how much I've loved it and enjoyed it, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your kinship, your friendship, your guidance, your support. It's been great. Look forward to hopefully a long time in this community. And again, I thank you. As I always say, God bless you all. I don't know what else to say, but I'm glad you stopped by for this video, and looking forward to 2018 with you. So hope you enjoyed my little top 10, folks. Beatles-related grabs for 2017, top 10. Take care. Bye-bye.